Well, hello and howdy ho everyone. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV full story playthrough. My name is Foxy Games, and in the last episode we met Asahi, Yotsuyu's brother. And things, they went pretty peaceably until the very end. And he made a very unambiguous threat that he was going to get us. But as you can see, we're not dealing with Asahi right now. We're not dealing with the Empire at all. As a matter of fact, we have a little side quest to do. And for that, we must go and speak with Soroban. You may also have noticed that my outfit has changed. This is an outfit that you get near the end of Stormblood. I think it looks quite badass, really. There we go. I really like that sword. The shield looks really cool, too. It's all the makings of a samurai without actually being a samurai. So, this is the outfit that we'll be wearing for a little while. So anyway, let's speak with Soroban. You would know more of my venture? Excellent. I should be glad to tell you all I know. Though perhaps it would be easier to let our anonymous client speak for his or herself. Here, their missive. From the Ruby Sea and all who call her home, we seek the aid of a warrior who laid low the Lord of the Revel. But first we bid her make haste to Hell's Lid and quell the Oni that dwell in its deepest depths. Should she succeed in this test, we shall speak of the true endeavor and the consummate reward. A strange proposal, though it must be noted that they knew both of your deeds and our part in them. The Red have no love of trickery, so I doubt it a trap of theirs. And should this client have honest intentions, then for the sake of these waters, it may behoove us to engage them further. As for their test, enclosed with the missive was a magic dagger, along with instructions as to how it may be used to open a hidden passage into the depths of Hell's Lid. I should mention that this dagger is old and exceedingly valuable, that our client was willing to entrust it to us without a guarantee of our cooperation bespeaks considerable wealth, and more importantly, considerable reward. Is this your business venture? That's less reliable than I would have hoped. If you are willing to undertake their trial, I shall journey to Hell's Lid and prepare to open the path. But given the financial incentive, I think it for the best if I went and fetched Mistress Tataru. Wait for us there, then. Well, alright. Tataru could use with a little bit of adventure anyway. So, off to Hell's Lid then, which is considerably far down the map. This is a quest that leads into some trials, some really fun and cool trials, and an interesting quest line. So, I hope you all are ready to enjoy that. Hell's Lid indeed. This place is literally on fire. Actually, it's not fire, it's molten. I'm stupid. Hope you haven't been waiting long, Foxy. My apologies for the delay. I thought it best to explain everything to Mistress Tataru on the way. Honestly, all he had to say was that he'd found a way to make up for Alphinaud's obscene expenditures. No matter how reckless or dangerous the scheme, if it balances the ledger, I'm all for it. Yeah, because you're not risking your ass. So there's a bunch of monsters living beneath us? What kind of place is this? Well, according to ancient legend, Hell's Lid is where the hero Tenzin defeated a host of Oni. Oni were foul, evil beings that tormented the peoples of the Ruby Sea, and this island was home to many, until Tenzin, together with the four lords, drove the Oni into the sea. For his heroic deeds, Tenzin was showered with riches. He then journeyed deep into the mountains, far from the realms of men, and lived in solitude with his companions, happily ever after. And now Foxy's being asked to drive the Oni away again? You misunderstand. What I told you was a fairy tale. To the best of my knowledge, no one has ever seen an Oni. If anything, many assume the tale refers to the ancestors of the Kojin. So what you're saying is that you've got no idea what's waiting for us down below. In that case, I'll leave this to the experts. If you need me, I'll be hiding behind that rock over there. Oh, Tataru. By experts, I presume she means you and your adventuring companions. I do hope you are not counting on me to join you in the fight. No, you're a merchant. I don't expect you to do much of anything. And we very quickly journey into Hell's Lid. It looks rather hot in there. I do hope this isn't a bad idea. Oh, geez. Yeah, well, if my clothes catch fire, I'll just throw them off. I'll look no worse than any other Mikote at that point. Well, when I said we'd very quickly jump into Hell's Lid, it turns out I was right. That was an instant queue. So, welcome to Hell's Lid. This dungeon is not too difficult, so we should get through it no problem. Everyone with me? Very good. Here's my healer. Looks like Goldbreaker. Aha, looks like it's one of those situations where you just have to kill everything. Jump! Alright, we need to kill these things. That means I have to pull aggro on all of them. Very good. That's a big old flaming lion. Ah, come on. The only thing difficult about this area is the fact that there are going to be a lot of AoEs being thrown out. Now, it didn't even matter. This group's got good damage. We're already at the first boss. Otakemaru. This hellish looking thing. Oh yes, don't be in the way of a 100-ton swing. Pretty typical for an enemy of this type. And we've seen that mechanic before. I'm probably too close. Nope, I was just right out of range. Good. Alright, so he's pissed, and he's going to now be following this, the targeted player and puking out lava. Why? Also stay away from his sword and shield. And before you know it, this guy's already dead. He was kind of a pushover, to be honest. Nothing worth taking. Oh, look at that. It's a cute little ferret. What the hell is it doing here? Keeping up, healer? Very good. Wow, these slugs are fast. Why the hell are they so fast? Oh well. That's a big old sea snake thing. And the ferret continues to run deeper in. Why it has decided that it wants to be in this place filled with terrible monsters, no idea. Very good. Moving on then to the second boss. Why, it's the ferret, and he's no ferret at all, but a ferret demon. I have no idea why he's a demon. This guy's also very straightforward, especially when the damage output in this group is as high as it is. In fact, you could say that this entire dungeon is spoiling us. Oh yes, and these things all need to die. Oh yeah, don't be in the way of those. Like that guy was. If it's a fight you'll want, it's a fight you'll get. I mean, I thought we were already fighting. Oh well, he wants to talk massive shit while getting his ass kicked. That's his prerogative. Goodbye, ferret. Down we go. Deeper into this sanctum-looking place. Everybody in position. Holy fuck, it's time for hallowed ground. I think that was proper use of hallowed ground. And now, we move on to the final boss. And let me tell you, if you thought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle references were over, Oh wait, we've got a mini-boss. Well, that's unfortunate. Come here, you little shit. Why? Stop fighting him. Anyway, if you thought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle references were over, you'd be sorely mistaken. Oh yeah, he's basically Turtle Yoda. This is Genbu. He's a big turtle. Let's do this. Even his tank buster doesn't do that much damage. Okay, see those arrows on the floor? That is going to indicate where that blue orb is going to send the water. That person clearly did not get the message, but that's okay. This boss is really not difficult. And we'll be fine. And we are safe here. It's going to lead it that way and off the platform. Oh, of course I chose a shitty fucking time to use that. Anyway, we have to now kill his shield. And stay off the flashing tiles. Oh dear. Huh. See. Looks like it's gonna go all around. So we have to be vigilant now. Somebody limit break, please. We're not gonna get a limit break, too. Oh well, no limit break. That's it for Genbu. This is actually like the easiest and quickest dungeon ever. I think it lasted maybe 15 minutes, not even. Right, he turns back into a turtle. A regular turtle. Oh, you're the only one left, so you get to commend. What do these pants look like? They look like pants. Pass. Oh, well, I get them anyway, apparently. Perhaps we should turn him right side up. Tataru. Oh, they're adorable. Oh, a marvelous performance, truly marvelous. But then you did best the Lord of the Revel. By the Kami, a talking turtle. Do you not see the irony in that? I don't even know where to begin with that one. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. I trust you will forgive me for my deception. 'Tis something of a Far Eastern tradition, the testing of strength and so forth. A bit rote, perhaps, but anyway, welcome to Reisen Temple. I am Genbu, guardian of this sacred place and leader of our little collective. Genbu? The selfsame Genbu of the Tale of Tenzin, one of the four lords? Under normal circumstances, I would assume you named for the legendary being, but clearly this is anything but normal. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would meet a talking turtle. Once again, they just stare. Oh, but every one of us here can speak your tongue. Is it truly so surprising? After all, we each have lived more than 1,000 years. I knew turtles were long-lived, but I had no idea that was even possible. In this wondrous land of ours, it is said that a beast which lives 1,000 years attains a measure of divinity. This temple is such a place where such auspices may gather. But take not my word for it. Speak with my comrades and learn their tales. We will talk of the endeavor after. Oh, they're so cute. I wonder if that's the ferret we just fought. We may as well do what he says. Besides, who knows what valuable secrets some 1,000-year-old animals may know. And, come on, they're adorable. Alright. Let's, oh god, there's so many of them. Let's start from the back. Furi, you are a little tanuki. Headed to the surface? Follow me. Oh, of course I'd pick the one that I'm not supposed to talk to. Senri. Judging from the way you and that woman are gawping, I'm guessing you're not from around here. Don't you know it? Don't know how it is in your homeland, but here, if an animal manages to survive 100 years, it begins to get ideas. Delusions of grandeur. Some small powers, sure, but nothing much to speak of. Survive 10 times that and you become a full-fledged auspice, though. Speech. Magics. It's quite the change, believe me. Which is why we call it the change. What? I never said it was something clever. Anyway, point is, don't let our appearances fool you. I could kill you 5 times before you hit the ground. But I won't, on account of me being civil. For now. I mean, that's just a cat thing. Let's be honest here. Okay, let's go around this way and speak with Soroban and Inugami. How much more of the old tales are true? Inugami is my name, and speak it in hushed tones, mistakenly believing me to be a vengeful spirit that murders indiscriminately. There was a time when I killed men by the hundreds, but that was in retribution for the countless creatures they themselves mercilessly slaughtered. It was most deliberate. Oh dear. Maybe stay clear of Inugami. This Inugami, anyway. A certain Korone Inugami is most safe. Just don't let her see your fingers. Please converse with the others. We can speak of the endeavor once you have a greater understanding of who we are. Of course. Kuragitsune. A friend of mine, Tamamo Gozen, once called this place home. Possessed of 9 tails, her power far eclipsed my own. But one day she left to live amongst men. What became of her, I wonder? Now, I do wonder. Remember way back, like back before we even liberated Doma, I think it was, when we saw the woman wandering around, an Aura woman with fox ears and a tail wandering around all confused. I wonder if that would be Tamamo. That would be interesting. If you chance to meet Tamamo Gozen, I pray you tell her we all miss her dearly. Yes, because that particular fate involves somebody being possessed by a fox spirit. I wonder if it's the self-same one. You will go no further. The reason should be plain. Beyond lies the prison of Koryu. Were you to damage the wards, he would break free, and all would fall to ruin. Oh, jeez. Well then, let's not go in there. Don't talk to me, Foxy. Talk to the cat, or the weasel. And what does the fox have to say? What a reference. I'm Nue. If you ever need someone to call lightning down upon your foes and whatnot, I'm your auspice. Of course, some fairy tales would have you believe I'm something altogether different. A monkey's face, a lion's legs, a snake for a tail. Ridiculous, am I right? Not as bad as that horse with the head and body of a rabbit, to be fair, but still. These must all be references to Far Eastern stories of which I have not been accustomed. Shut up, phone. Shut up, phone. Hey, that hurt. You didn't have to give it everything you had in that fight, you know. Oh, it is the very same. The same ferret. Or is he a weasel? I don't know. I only just went through the change, so it's not like I was gonna slow you down that much. Well, I suppose you didn't know it was all for show, and I was probably really intimidating. Oh, right, you were asking about the collective, weren't you? Let's see. Genbu's the oldest of us, oldest in the Far East too, I think. One of the 4 lords, so you can imagine he's much more powerful than regular old auspices like me. Shut the fuck up, phone. Ah, but you probably knew all that already. Genbu may be the oldest, but Byakko's got to be the fuzziest. Not the most impressive claim to fame, but hey, you work with what you've got, am I right? I suppose. Well, this is all rather, wonderful, really, but let's go ahead and talk to Genbu. Now that you have a greater understanding of who we are, I shall tell you of the rather thorny predicament we now face. The divinity of we auspices manifests in myriad ways. For example, I possess clairvoyance. And with my preternatural power have I seen a vision of the Ruby Sea, of Yangsha, of Hingashi, subsumed by roaring flames. This is no distant future, I fear, and if we are to avert it, we must needs enlist the assistance of an exemplary warrior, one such as she who faced the Lord of Revel and lived. What should we do? What should we do? Fear not, little one, for I have a plan. But to understand it, you must first understand the duality which lies at the heart of we auspices. The Arimatama, the primal rage, and the Nigimatama, the boundless calm. These elemental forces comprise the soul of an auspice, and it is only when they are in balance that we are truly ourselves. Alas, over great spans of time, or when caught in the midst of tumultuous events, this balance may be disrupted, and the soul may be divided. An auspice overcome by the Arimitama is a wild, feral thing, all the more dangerous for their divinity. Calamity and catastrophe invariably follow, tremors and floods which destroy men's works. Auspices can bring about these natural disasters? How frightening. Perhaps, but you must remember that there are auspices who delight in aiding the peoples of these lands. Auspices who may have even wreaked havoc in the past. Recall you the tale of Tenzin and the 4 lords? The one Soroban told us before, about a samurai and the auspices who drove the Oni from this land into the sea. Just so, yet I fear his accounting of events is not quite accurate, for it was not Oni we and Tenzin cast out from this place, but an auspice. An auspice with the power to move heaven and earth, Koryu. Wholly consumed by the Aramitama. He stoked the flames in the island's heart until it very nearly erupted in a fiery maelstrom. Tenzin led us into battle against our mad brother, and together we sealed him in this temple. But as the truth of the tale fades from memory, so too do our wards weaken, I fear. Should Koryu break free, he may well finish what he began, and ensure my vision of flames comes to pass. So, long story short, you want Foxy to give this Koryu what for when he wakes up? I should think not. Her accomplishments notwithstanding, it would be foolish for any mortal to face Koryu without proper assistance. To wit, that of the four lords. Regrettably, I am not the young auspice that I once was. And to make matters worse, my three compeers have nearly succumbed to the Aramitama. Kami forfend! 3 of the 4 lords have gone mad. The Ruby Sea is doomed! Nearly succumbed! Nearly! Alas, in marshalling their strength to retain control, they are unable to commit their powers to the preservation of the wards holding Koryu in this prison. And now that you have a full and complete understanding of the situation, we may at last discuss your part in all this, warrior. I would have you and your comrades face mine in battle, and quell their raging Aramitama. What say you? Oh, this is harsh, so I don't get to kill them? Well, it's still something. That's terrible. Foxy is not a murderer. She kills by necessity. Very well, if that is the only way. Oh, you are an intriguing one, aren't you? We are grateful for your assistance. Let us brook no further delay and introduce you to another of the 4 lords. I informed Byakko of your arrival when you first entered our domain. He should be returning any moment now. Come, come. Let's go find this Byakko. There he is. Well, he is one big kitty. Don't be shy, he doesn't bite. Not without cause, at the very least. He's quite a bit bigger than the other animals, isn't he? A magnificent coat of fur that shimmers as snow, as befits Byakko, the white tiger of legend. Old friend, the day of reckoning draws nigh. The wards will fail, and Koryu will break free. Before he does, you must quell the raging Aramitama in your soul. This warrior will help. Doubt not her strength, for she has danced with Susanoo himself. A bold, audacious claim. Yet if Genbu believes it true, the more I look at you, the more of him I see. A similar presence, perchance. A light. Very well. I will bow to my brother's judgment. Wonderful! Then without further ado, I shall bid my comrade relax and surrender to the Aramitama. What? Here? Now? Won't he go on a murderous rampage? Why, yes, that's rather the point. He will be reduced to the feral beast. And then it will be Foxy, was it? Foxy's turn to do battle with my brother and help him quell the fury within. But if all it takes to quell the Aramitama is battle, then why did you not do the same for Koryu? Why seal him away? Because it was too late. As I said, Koryu was fully consumed by the Aramitama. Naught remained of the Nigimitama. All that he was forever lost to us. The effort I expended to hold back the fury I will instead use to safeguard the calm. It is then you must act, but know that if you fail, it will only hasten my fall. My soul is in your keeping, Foxy. Do you understand? We'll take good care of it. Then let us quit this place. Genbu may not mind the chaos, but if I am to wager my everything, I prefer to do so in the land of my birth. To look on those familiar winds with eyes that may soon belong to another. When you return to the island, look for Furi. He will guide you back here. Given the circumstances, perhaps it is best that we stay here. Would that be acceptable? Oh, Soroban, was it? Be at ease. I have a task for you and your excitable urchin. Follow me. Excitable urchin. Did that tiny talking turtle just insult me? I believe he thinks you're a child. And really, who could blame him? Anyway, apparently we're going out to Yangxia. There's the biggest kitty of them all. We are here. My earliest memories are not pleasant. From birth I was shunned by man and beast alike, for my snow-white fur marked me a harbinger of doom. Cast out and hunted, I struggled to survive. But I endured. I grew older and wiser, and one day I resolved to protect this place and those that call it home, for in spite of everything, it was mine as well. In time, they came to see me as a guardian instead of a demon, and yet, for all that I have done to rise above the beast within, I may fall to madness and become the sum of their fears. Have faith. You will not fall. Such confidence from one so young. But as age in itself does not confer wisdom, nor does youth go in hand with hubris. I warn you, for centuries has my Aramitama grown and festered. Hold nothing back, for I will not. Warrior, the time has come for you and yours to make ready. May the Kami grant you strength to save my soul. The Jade Stoa is now accessible. Let us proceed, then, to save Byakko.
It begins. Receive of me my fury, children of man, and quell it!
So, Gon is the fluffy kitty. And, well, now we've got this. Looks like somebody's nightmarish persona.
There is no turning back!
Somebody decided they were going to pull. Oh yeah, he picks people up and throws them across the platform. Or slams them into the ground, I suppose. Alright, so don't get hit by those balls, or you're going to take a lot of vuln stacks like this person is. Okay, I thought I was gonna be fucked up there, but no, I'm good.
Twofold is my wrath, twice cast my foes!
Why are you coming over here? Alright, now we have to beat the shit out of him for as long as we can in order to avoid being killed by his ultimate. Alright, we did good.
All creation trembles before my might. Behold, fury given form.
This part's actually pretty cool.
My wrath is a ceaseless torrent.
Avoid the balls and avoid the AoEs. I see a few people have already died.
No more games. To ashes with you. Impressive. Very well, I shall bring all to bear.
Now the real fight begins.
Lightning Sear.
Oh no, that guy's disconnected. Well, good thing I'm here. Oh wait, he's not a tank, that's a healer.
Lightning Sear. Steel yourself.
Ow. Oh yeah. Damn. Well, they didn't die. Oh, now I'm being thrown. Please don't let me die. Really? Oh, damn, I should have been tanking him in the middle. Alright, we're gonna have to dodge more balls. Can we get a limit break 3? Thank you.
You are stronger than I dared hope.
And down goes Byakko. And the Aramitama is quelled. You are indeed the warrior they say, not unlike him in many respects. 'Twas in another era that we first met, him and I. Long, long before the kingdom of Doma. I told you before of my past, of how I was shunned by man and beast alike for the snow-white fur that marked me as a harbinger of doom. Bereft of family and friendship, of home, I wandered the mountains in search of a place to call my own. There I would accept my fate and await the inevitable. But death did not come, for I was unlike my brothers in more respects than my fur. With every century I grew stronger and stranger, monstrous. In turn, what few creatures dared traverse my domain withdrew further and further. Never had I been so alone. And then one day I awoke to find a man standing before me. Bewildered, I rose and bared my fangs as I roared in rage. Begone, or I shall rend you asunder and feast on your flesh. What fool has the temerity to approach me thus? But the man did not flee. Rather, he stood his ground and said, "This fool is named Tenzin, and ever since I was a child he spoke the language of beasts." Then you know full well what you stand to lose. Return to your people or die. But Tenzin threw his head back and laughed. They would kill me if I dared. For fear of my talents I was banished. A harbinger of doom they called me. In that instant all my anger drained away. Tenzin's words had struck at the heart of me. Here was a fellow outcast, cursed by his kin for his very nature. That night, as I listened to his snoring, I realized I had found in this man a kindred spirit. soon after we embarked on a journey together. In the days that followed, we met other solitary souls and aided them as we had aided each other. But those are tales for another time. I doubt very much you are willing to stand here in silence while I recount my every adventure with Tenzin. Come, let us return to the temple. Genbu is doubtless eager to learn the outcome of our battle. A big old softy, that Byakko, which is always nice to see. Ugh, it's gonna be one of those where we have to fly like a million fucking miles every time we want to get somewhere. Oh well. Ah, there's Furry. No need to explain. Genbu has told me all about you and the thrashing you gave him and the others. Need me to escort you back to the temple? If you please. Anything new to say? Looks like we owe you one, Foxy. I'd certainly have balked at facing Byakko in battle, what with those fangs and those claws. Seems like everybody might have something new to say. Not you. Well, I'll be he didn't kill you. Shame. I had a bet with the others. Nothing personal, mind. No need to chase anyone into the sea or anything silly like that, eh? Uh-huh. You're still sore about the fact that I beat you up. How about Inugami? Anything to say there? Nope. Kuragitsune? Nope. Komainu? Nope. Ah, Soroban in Tataru. Never meet your heroes, my friend. Oh dear. Please do not disturb us, Foxy. We're in the middle of a very important training session. What are you doing? Huh. Maybe they'll explain. Far too long has it been since I had the opportunity to unleash my full potential. Stakes notwithstanding, it was a pleasure, warrior. Well done, Foxy, well done. You have done my friend a great kindness, one we shall not soon forget. What are you two up to? What exactly did you ask Soroban to do? Or I'm not sure what's going on, I'm afraid to ask. Let's just be direct about it. Oh, you needn't be so concerned. You know well the power of the Kojin's incantations, yes? I have but asked Soroban to undergo a little training that he might assist us with the maintenance of the wards. He has demonstrated a remarkable aptitude thus far, in fact. How much longer must I continue? Concentrate. Less chatting, more chanting. What youthful energy! It has been far too long since we had the pleasure of such company. Not since Tenzin, I imagine. I've been meaning to ask, what sort of man was Tenzin? We only just learned the stories, and you've already said they were half wrong. Curious, are you? Very good, very good. Far too many people have no interest in the past. What to say, what to say? Well, for one, Tenzin was blessed with the self-same power Foxy possesses. The Echo, I believe it is sometimes called. Ah, so he was a warrior of light. Alas, as you probably know from personal experience, such individuals are often regarded with suspicion, if not outright fear. Nevertheless, Tenzin was a generous soul who was ever eager to aid his fellow man. Indeed, he died as he lived, fighting for the sake of those he loved. You see, when he faced Koryu, we four lords were still quite young and weak, not even auspices in truth. and we could but look on helplessly as the two dragged one another to the brink of death. With the last of his strength, Tenzin imprisoned the mortally wounded Koryu. He then bequeathed to us a sacred treasure, a crystal which shone with an otherworldly light. Was it his crystal of light? Oft have I wondered if this crystal was the source of the powers we would grow to possess. Would we have become the Four Lords without it? In my heart, I think not. We built this temple to strengthen the wards and safeguard the Ruby Sea in Tenzin's stead. His legacy would be ours, and so it has been to this day. And so it will continue to be, but only if we can rely upon you to quell the Aramitama of our comrades. That can wait, though. Byakko needs his rest, and so do you, Foxy. In that case, it'd probably be for the best if I went back to Kugane. There's no telling what mischief that man will get up to in my absence. I too should take my leave. Doubtless I am needed in Tamamizu. Oh, you're not going anywhere. Your training is far from finished, my friend. But I can't possibly refuse the request of the Four Lords, can I? I hate to impose upon you, Foxy, but perhaps you can return to Tamamizu in my stead. It may be some time before I am permitted to return home. I suppose I could do that. Peace reigns in my heart once more. Such tranquility, such serenity. You have done more than enough for one day, Foxy. For now, you and Byakko should rest. Oh, and if you have any questions about this or that, Senri should be glad to entertain them. I should be most grateful if you were to tell the Elder of my plight, that is to say, this great honor, which has been bestowed upon me by the Four Lords. Oh, Soroban, you've gotten in over your head on this one, I'm afraid to say. Well, let's go and speak with the other animals, see if they've got anything else to say. Oh, you're still here? Got something you'd like to ask? What are auspices? Tell you what, I'll repeat the exact same thing I told you before when I first laid eyes on you and your bewildered friends. Ahem! Don't know how it is in your homeland, but here, if an animal manages to survive 100 years, it begins to get ideas, delusions of grandeur. Some small power, sure, but nothing much to speak of. Survive 10 times that and you become a full-fledged auspice, though. Speech! Magics! It's quite the change, believe me. Which is why we call it the change. What? I never said it was something clever. Anyway, point is, don't let our appearances fool you. I could kill you 5 times before you hit the ground, but I won't. On account of me being civil. For now. Not bad, eh? My mother always told me I was talented. Wow, it's almost as if somebody just copied and pasted it. What is Risen Temple? The temple? Now I know someone had to have told you about that before. Forgetful bugger, aren't you? A long time ago, an aspis named Koryu succumbed to the Aramitama and went mad with rage. You know, kill everyone, destroy everything. Anyway, Tenzin and the Four Lords put a stop to his murderous rampage and sealed him here. Afterwards, in order to strengthen the ward binding Koryu, the Four Lords used their powers to build a magnificent temple. And that temple is this one, of course. You don't see any other temples around here, do you? Now this really ought to go without saying, but don't go messing about the inner sanctum, touching the sacred crystal, or breaking the sacred wards. Not unless you want to free Koryu and turn the Ruby Sea into the Ruby Sea of Fire or summit. Of course, since the world is filled with treasure hunters and cavalier idiots, the Four Lords hid the temple and recruited fellow auspices like yours truly to stand guard. So, while it was never intended to be a home for us, it more or less became one. Huh. What about Tenzin? Ah, Tenzin. Never knew him personally, but a decent bloke by all accounts. He was a samurai and traveling companion of the Four Lords. Apparently he had the ability to converse with all sorts of living creatures. Some even say he could converse with this star itself, silly as it sounds. He was literally a warrior of light. Anyway, Tenzin made no effort to hide his conversational talents, which invariably led to people calling him a demon or a witch. But despite that, he still liked to lend a helping hand where he could. Can't say I'd have done the same, but it seems to have paid off in the end. At some point during his travels with the Four Lords, people start calling Tenzin a hero, and tales of his daring do reach the ears of this king who decides to summon Tenzin and ask him to give Koryu what for. Sure enough, Tenzin says yes. Now Tenzin's strong, stronger than the Four Lords at this point even, and we've already established his altruistic streak. So off he goes, Phoenix blade in hand, confronts Koryu, and sacrifices himself to seal the mad Aspis away. Should have seen that one coming, am I right? The Ruby Sea and everyone in it are saved, people tell their children and their children's children of Tenzin's deeds, changing the details bit by bit, and that's how we end up with a ridiculous story about him and the Four Lords driving a host of Oni into the sea. That is a little stupid, isn't it? But that is kind of how stories go. What about Genbu? Genbu? Hasn't he been talking your ear off this whole time? Thought you'd want to know. Thought you'd know by now who he is. I mean, I'll indulge you if that's really what you want. He's old and he's wise and he's got bad eyes. Genbu! Ahem. But seriously, he's one of the Four Lords, the most powerful, or at least he was at one time. He'll be the first to tell you he's not as spry as he used to be. But I suppose that's to be expected, given that he's been using his strength to sustain Koryu's wards for, several millennia, give or take. That's sure to wear anyone down. How about Byakko? You're asking about our Byakko? Great big white tiger, the one you and your fellow warriors fought in a pitched battle to save his soul? Not some other Byakko, to be clear. Like Genbu, he's one of the Four Lords, from Yangsha originally, though that was long before my time. Apparently, his fellow tigers didn't much care for his snow-white coat and cast him out. Personally, I'm rather envious of it. Can you imagine me with those stripes? No? Never mind. Where was I? Ah, right. So one day Tenzin chances to meet Byakko, who does his usual "go away or I'll eat your face" bit. But Tenzin's having none of it, and somehow manages to convince Byakko to stop sulking around and instead join him on an adventure or two. And wouldn't you know it, the old curmudgeon takes to life on the road like a fish to water. The two become inseparable, and together they manage to save Yangsha from a half-dozen calamities. Just goes to show you never know until you try, eh? I'm sure we'll be back to you later, Senri. Anybody else have anything to say? Probably not. No. And no. Alright, back to Tamamizu then. It's been a while since we've spoken to Bunchin over here. So Soroban will be staying with Genbu for a time? How wonderful to hear. I have no doubt he will make the most of his most blessed opportunity. Oh yeah, he's thrilled. Oh, I have another missive for you. It was delivered personally by an unusual cat. An auspice, I presume. You are welcome to come and go from the temple as you like. Furi will remain at his post above ground. You need only seek him out. I should be glad if you take him up on his invitation and look in on Soroban every now and then. After all, he is in essence our representative there. Yeah, sure. Oh, poor Soroban. Well, you kind of got yourself into your own mess here. Not something I can exactly save you from. With that being said, we're going to wrap this episode up. I know it's a bit shorter than some of my other episodes, but I would like to split this into 2 parts. So, with that being said, in the next episode we will continue the Four Lords quest line. Until then, my name is Foxy Games. I'll catch you in the next one. You guys take care. Bye.